Okay, so I'm going to show you guys my techniques for anti-airing. Not only that, but I'm also going to let you guys know when there's going to be a good chance your opponent's going to jump at you, and like basically let you know common situations on when your opponent's going to jump at you to get ready for the anti-air. So when it comes down to anti-airing, things you're not going to want to do is block standing up and then go into it, or go back and forth and then do it. I used to do this. There's nothing wrong with this at all. But if you really want to land your shit, you're going to want to crouch block. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to let go of down and the block button, and then go into your character's best anti-air. For Erron Black, it's a standing one. Just like that. So I'm going to make Melina jump at me, right? So if I go like this, and I try doing it, right? There's actually a good chance that Melina's going to hit me. But if I lower my hitbox, it's so much easier. Like, I could do this shit in my sleep. Like, seriously. You see, every single time. But if I do like this, and I know she's coming, there's actually a good chance she's actually going to hit me. So that's honestly my technique for it. It's very, very simple. First, just practice that. First practice this right here. If you're really not good with it, just make your opponent do this. Or sorry, make them jump forward at you, and then just practice this. Just do this. Literally, just practice this and get comfortable. And then slowly do something like this and find a string to go after it like that. This is my go-to string with Erron Black. Boom, boom. That is my go-to. Or if you want to get fancy, you could do something like that or whatever. I don't know, like, I don't know if you want to impress someone for whatever reason. But for the most part, you want to find that anti-air that's comfortable doing at first, and then you could see where you can do the most damage at. So there's that. There's different types of anti-airs for different, like Terminator and Frost has one that when they're crouching is the best way. Some characters down 4s and down 1s are their best anti-airs. You have to explore your character. For Erron Black, it's a very common thing that your standing 1 is going to be your best anti-air. So that's my technique for it. You block, let go of down and block, and then you go right into it. Because he rises up and then throws. Instead of him being right there, and there's a good chance his head is going to get hit before he throws his poke out. It's just much easier because you're like lowering your hitbox and then boom, just throwing it out there instead of it already being there, giving your opponent a chance to hit your dome and then for you to throw it. So just much better doing this. So just practice that. Let go of them both and then go right into it. Definitely worth it. If you guys see my Erron Black gameplay, I'm very patient with him because I want to get that anti-air because it's so much fun to land his anti-airs. And I'm just right there crouch blocking, waiting for my opponent to jump, and then just sticking it out there and boom, getting that crushing blow. So when are some common situations when your opponent is going to jump? One of them that is going to be very, very common is when, let me actually control Melina, is when she throws a projectile. People, this is like scrub shit 101. This is what people will do. They'll do something like this, and then they'll jump. That's what they'll do. They'll do something, let's throw a projectile, and then they'll jump at you. That is a very common situation. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I just got hit with some chip. I need to go in. No, you just relax, let them jump at you, boom, and then catch them. Just like that. Be patient or step back because there's a good chance they're going to step at you or possibly throw some random ass shit at you. Just be patient. So when they throw projectiles at you, just know there's a good chance they're going to jump at you and try to get a free mix-up on you. So just know that. If they throw projectiles and you're at this range right here, they're going to jump at you, and there's that. Next, very common situation, which I hate that people don't talk about. I really hate that people are not like letting players know how to get out of this situation. This bullshit right here. You're not gonna, like, if you do this shit to me, I'm going to full fucking combo punish you every single fucking time. Offline, if you do this to me offline, there's 100% chance I'm going to anti-air the living shit out of you. Let me explain why and how. Online, this shit might work, and it has worked on me, unfortunately. But let me explain to you what the trick to it is. This, and then they'll get their little punish, right? So I get hit, not gonna work. Like, that's too much time for me to think. Way too much time for me to think. You gotta know your character's anti-air, but then there's also a problem with this. There's a big problem with this. If I was like someone like Rambo, I would get hit. Or if Melina was Devora, I would get hit. It just depends on your character. You have to understand your character's anti-air. You really do. Cause let's say Nightwolf would do this to me, and I was like someone like, I don't know, Scarlet. There's a good chance I'm going to get hit. There's a fucking really good chance I'm going to get hit. Or even sometimes doing uppercuts, they'll miss completely. That's what a lot of players will do, or you'll get lucky. It's like a fucking RPG. It literally is like playing like Divinity or fucking Wasteland or Fallout. It's like there's a 50% chance your uppercut's gonna land or not. It's just much better to go for the anti-air. So you also gotta understand is like some characters are more difficult to anti-air than others. That's up to you as a player to lab that shit out. So know that. Do not get hit by this stupid bullshit where people knock you down and they jump at you. You better anti-air them motherfuckers and be patient and anti-air living shit out of them. This is what players in online do. They'll knock you down, they'll step back, and then they'll jump at you. I'm telling you, this is going to like win you fucking games. Like if my opponent, if they keep doing, back then players would do this to me and I didn't know what the fuck to do. And I would give them a free mix-up. They'll jump at me, they'll grab me, I'll get my shit mixed. Now, if you try knocking me down, if let's say I roll and you try jumping at me, I will anti-air your fucking life away. And it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth dude, it took me like 2 fucking months to get comfortable anti-airing. I could do this shit in my sleep now. But at some point, I was like super frustrated with this. And not only that, anti-airing in this game is very difficult, especially against certain characters. So that's another thing you need to realize. Go to practice mode, pick different characters, make them jump at your character or whatever. And again, I put a lot of time. Think about it. Think about it. Let's say I anti-air with Shang. I have to see, okay, I cannot anti-air with Shang with, let's say, a noob sidebot. It's just his hitbox is fucking weird. I can't do it. Or if I'm using fraud, like some characters have anti-airs that are just good for the entire cast, and some of them are just kind of like whatever. They're just not really that great. Just go to your uppercut and keep it simple. So just understand that. Understand certain situations, like being in the corner. If your opponent knocks you down, people love doing, they'll knock you down in the corner and then they'll jump, anti-air that motherfucker. They'll do like a jump kick, like anti-air their ass and just get the timing for it. But again, sometimes doing like something like that is really difficult to do in that situation. Might as well block. But when that shit does work, ooh, it's such a good feeling. Just know this: when your opponent is up in the air, there ain't shit they could do unless they're using katana, they use that flutter bullshit, or the teleport with Scorpion. Then you know maybe just take that shit and just wait patiently for your turn. But for the most part, if they don't have that, you got to get ready for that shit. And not only that, this is going to make you into a better player because you're going to be more patient. And just don't be like me and just be anti-air hunting all the time and give your opponent your turn. So there's that. Those are my tips for anti-airing, and just something to know. It's going to save your ass. It's going to make you into a way better player, and it's going to set you apart from every fucking dumbass that likes to do stupid shit like this. Oh, with a jump, you know. So just know that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hallelujah, holla back. Check you bastards later. Deuces.